What do you do?
Well, I'm actually have been working in the field of peacebuilding and conflict transformation for the last 25 years now. So I think this is what is defining me a lot.
What drove you into this field?
Actually started working in this field, on one hand, one could say by chance, and on the other hand, if you look at my personal biography, it's probably not only by chance. So when I say by chance, it's simply because I studied history, and after finishing my studies, I really didn't know what to do. I thought I would like to work in the field of international relations, but I didn't study political science. I was also a little bit attached to the cultural field, so probably going into museums, pedagogy or whatsoever. But then I talked to a professor at the university, and he recommended to me to go to the Austrian Study Center for Peace and Conflict Resolution and to actually participate in a training course there. So I went there, I participated in a human rights observation course, and 2 weeks later I found myself in Bosnia Herzegovina, in Sarajevo in 1995, at the time when the OSCE, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, started this huge mission, which included thousands of civilians, the first time in history actually in peace building.
What is your greatest source of energy?
The people who are very dear to me, who are very close to me, and at the first place, of course, my husband, who is also a peace researcher. So we do share the same compassion. So I think this is from where I get a lot of energy, but also, as I said, very dear friends. I'm fortunate enough to have some friends who have been with me from kindergarten onwards and who do know me a lot, even if I don't talk or if I don't call them or whatsoever. They are always there, and I know that I can rely on them. And of course, all these admirable people who you meet in crisis regions, in conflict zones, who are very much affected by violent conflict and nevertheless do believe in peace and do believe in non-violent conflict transformation. So these are people I really admire, and I also get the energy from them.
What was your most impressive childhood experience?
My grandmother always took care of the whole family. It was basically not only my core family, but also my aunts, my uncles' families, who would come together in her house every day for lunch. So we would be a huge crowd of people sitting around the kitchen table discussing. And she was the one who really managed to make all of us feel happy and comfortable around her. So I think it's my grandmother.
What is the best advice you've received?
Well, it sounds probably naive and I don't know, a little bit kitschy, but I think the best piece of advice I got in my life is basically to pursue my dreams and to not let myself believe that I cannot achieve what I'm dreaming about.
If it's not the same, what is the best advice you can give?
People should not forget or they should not lose the hope that peace by peaceful means is possible, means that even really deeply protracted conflicts can be solved in a non-violent way. I sincerely believe in this because if you look at protracted conflicts, who is creating them? We are creating them, so we also should be able to solve them in a non-violent way.
What would you like to achieve in this lifetime?
Humility. This is what I would like to achieve, you know. I think I already achieved a lot. My life is really rich. I had the chance to meet beautiful people, to work with interesting people. I had the privilege to be loved and to be loved still and all this. So I think there isn't so much I'm still for myself aiming at. What I would like us to achieve as a society is really to better understand each other, to accept our differences, and nevertheless to live together and to quarrel together in a democratic way, but all with respect for each other.
What brings us together?
Love.
What makes us human?
The same basic needs we all share.
What is the most courageous decision you've made?
To not accept any job, to not go for a career in order to make money, but to really pursue a path which also goes along with my compassion.
What is your strongest conviction?
We as human beings have much more in common than indifference, and that we all share the same homeland, which is homeland Earth.
What does home mean to you?
Home means for me to be in a surrounding with people whom I feel comfortable with, whom I can trust, who support me, whom I can support. So it's more related to people rather than to territory.
What role does spirituality play in your life?
Spirituality does play a role in my life. It's a source of energy. It's a source of detachment. It's a source for focusing on the essential in life.
Who are you?
Who am I is probably simply a certain feeling that I have about myself and cannot be described in words.